I'm just forced to make this urgent video because the stock that I will be covering today will be very likely the most important stock that I will be mentioning for the entire year 2026. I will first absolutely shock you with the valuation and the growth rate. After that, I will explain you exactly how the stock will 3x in 2026 with all the catalysts. And after that, I will tell you every single risk so you can make a well-informed investment decision and literally change your financial life in 2026. And the stock is called Bitdeer Technologies. Now let me first show you the 5-year chart. This stock is down 20% while the fundamentals of this company improved every single year. Let's look at the 1-year chart. It's down 40% and it's down more than 70% from its all-time high. But as Warren Buffett famously stated, that the stock chart doesn't actually matter because you should focus at the fundamentals and the valuation of the company. And that's what we're going to do right now. It's trading at a price to sales ratio of 3.4, cheaper than all its peers. Analysts got exactly the same opinion. The average price target is $21, which is a 180% increase from today's price. They're expected to grow their revenues 194%. And the crazy thing is that most of the other companies in this space are getting all the attention, like Iren and Cipher. But if you look at the actual valuation and revenue forecast, you will see that BTDR has the cheapest valuation and the highest revenue growth rate. But no one is talking about Bitdeer Technologies. They're expecting their earnings per share to grow by 54% compared to all the other ones going negative this year. But what happened is a few days ago, they issued a stock offering worth $300 million, which sent the stock down 20 to 30%, now touching $7.8. But the investors should always look at why they diluted shareholders, because it's not always particularly a bad sign. Because in this scenario, they diluted shareholders so they could raise capital to fund their accelerating growth rates. It would have been reasonable to send the stock down 20% if they diluted shareholders so they could survive another few quarters. But right now, that's absolutely not the case. You're just getting a massive discount to start your position. Because let me show you their EPS chart and their revenue chart. It's definitely going in the right direction, going from making 70 million in Q4 2024 to making 320 million 2 years later. These are phenomenal growth rates. So now you know all the numbers and growth rates for 2026, and now I will explain you exactly how this company will 3x and what major events will very likely happen in the upcoming quarters. But first, do me a favor and smash that like button. It took me multiple days of research that I'm snapping together in this amazing video, so you guys can easily understand how this company will dominate in 2026. And join the Discord if you want to see exactly which stocks I'm buying and selling every single week. We're growing an amazing community and it's completely free, so link is in the description. Now what's important to know is that this company got 3 sectors going for them. They're becoming a major player in high performance computing, they're building their own data centers, and they're transitioning their Bitcoin mining centers to AI compute. Apart from that, they're right now the king of Bitcoin mining because they're right now mining Bitcoin with the highest hash rate. That basically means that they're the most efficient in mining Bitcoin, and the reason they are so efficient is because they're designing and manufacturing their own chips and hardware, which are a lot more efficient compared to other Bitcoin mining chips that other companies use. But this was costing them years of research and development. But now in the coming years, this will all start to pay off, and they will be able to start selling these chips to other Bitcoin miners. Apart from this, they have 3000 megawatts of power, which is equal to 3 gigawatts. And in the coming years, you will have a lot of power constraints. So having a lot of power capacity right now is worth a ton. And if you compare BTDR's power capacity to similar companies in this industry, you will be able to see that they have the same amount of energy capacity as Nebius, one of the big players in the space. And you will see that they have more capacity than Wulf, Cleanspark, Bitfarm, all those companies that are very much talked about, but nobody is talking about Bitdeer Technologies. Here you see the world map of all the data centers, and here you see a complete overview of every single data center site they got. You can see all the sites that are online and converting to AI, and which sites are work in progress. So as you can see over here, they got 1, 2, 3, 4 sites that are converting from Bitcoin mining to AI compute, and they're all planned for Q4 2026. And there are 3 more sites that are planning to be opened in 2026, but all of them are dedicated for Bitcoin mining. But the question is, what will that mean for the stock price in 2026? What will likely happen is that management will announce in Q3 or maybe even earlier that these data centers are coming online and with a potential hyperscaler contract. And after that, Wall Street will re-rate this stock, and that means this stock could jump 60, 70, 80% in less than a month. And apart from that, BTDR is not forced to beat their earnings because it's priced extremely cheap, and with these growth rates they will eat up the price to sales ratio to the point where this company will be too cheap to ignore. So you will very likely see the company's stock price surge in the upcoming quarters, and that makes this company a pretty safe investment because they're not forced to beat their earnings. They're not priced for perfection but complete stagnation. And let's not forget, their biggest AI data center site will be coming online in 2027. So these ridiculous growth rates are not not just for 2026, but also for 2027. In my Excel sheet, I'm looking 3 to 5 years into the future, and according to analysts and the company their own guidance, I'm projecting that they will grow their revenues 40% in 2027 and 31% in 2028. And with an EPS of $1.8 and a PE ratio between 25 and 40, which is definitely reasonable, that shows us that this company can surge between 460% and basically 800% within 3 years. So just keep that in mind. It's always important to do your projections further out. Now, if we look at their total power capacity of 3 gigawatts, you will have to split that in 1.7 gigawatts of online capacity and 1.3 gigawatts in development pipeline. Another important note is that the new chips that they're producing won't be sold to the other Bitcoin miners for the first 6 months. So right now the revenues of selling their chips is non-existent because they need to use and install them in their own data centers. But once they finish doing that, you will see additional revenue coming from selling the Sealminer chip. And here you see the Bitcoin mining hash rates for the biggest Bitcoin miners, and BTDR has the highest one of them all. Close second is Mara Holdings, but after that, companies in their space are really lacking. And that shows that BTDR can sell their chips to their lacking peers, which is another massive tailwind for this company. Alright, so we now know why this company is so attractive right now, but now I will tell you all the risks you need to know to make a well-informed investment decision. There are 3 negative points to pay attention to. The first negative point is a lawsuit that is issued by a company named Heavy Plate Solutions and is regarding BTDR's plan for their 570 megawatt data center expansion in Clarington. They state that BTDR's construction violates the company's 30-year lease by disrupting shared utilities and rail access. This site is critical for BTDR because this would be their new flagship that is planned to be fully dedicated to AI workloads. But the lawsuit forced the company to change the status of this project to be updated. Furthermore, they're defending another lawsuit which claims that the company misled investors about the progress of the Sealminer chip and specifically the 4th generation, which is planned to be the holy grail of seal miners with the highest efficiency ever. But the lawsuit claims that investors were uninformed about the delay of manufacturing the 4th generation Sealminer chip, which caused investors to buy shares at artificially inflated prices. But it looks like this lawsuit will be handled very soon, so this won't be a massive problem for the company. But the unfortunate thing is that this lawsuit forces the company to spend resources and time on this problem. Furthermore, if we look at their financials, they got $450 million in cash, but at the same time they have $1 billion in debt. So future dilution is definitely possible, but I'm not expecting any more dilution in 2026. And the final negative point is obviously Bitcoin. If Bitcoin prices start to decline even more, going down more than 20 or 30%, then the gross margins of this company will really start to compress, and that will obviously hurt the stock price. So those are the 4 negative points. The lawsuit against the data center project in Clarington is in my opinion the biggest negative point for this company. The other negative points are not that massive, because let's say worst case scenario, Bitcoin prices will continue to decline another 30 to 40%. That will force the other Bitcoin miners in the industry to buy the Sealminer chips of BTDR, because that would be the only way to stay profitable with Bitcoin mining. And the second catalyst for when Bitcoin prices crashes even more is that this will force the company to convert more data center sites to high compute workloads with higher margins than Bitcoin prices at these levels. But apart from that, none of these risks will change the growth outlook for 2026. And that is why this company is a must buy right now. But always make sure to do your own due diligence and smash that like button for me. And in my next video, I will be comparing all the data center stocks, and then I will show you my top 5 list. So make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss that video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.